Oh gosh, we're live. Welcome to episode number 48 of The Shift. We are live on the Tube, on the Gram, on Twitter. I don't think we're live on Facebook. Maybe one day we will be, but on three at least. So we're here, baby. We're here. I we're just gonna get straight into it, man. I don't really got much
Yeah.
to. We got Nick Earnshaw. We got some wild stuff to talk about today. Definitely not short of content, especially when we're going like back to back with
No.
episodes here. I feel like we did an episode like yesterday, which is nothing wrong with, obviously. I
I
love
know
it.
we did.
But here we are on a Wednesday night for episode 48. I don't know, man. This is kind of some of the craziest news that I've seen in a while, Nick. I mean, what the heck? What the heck?
Yes.
What?
I
don't get it. What
I
is
think
going on?
you and I were doing our show prep beforehand, before we went live. We're a couple minutes after 8:45. I mean, look, there's a lot to unpack here for the Shohei Ohtani news. So Shohei Ohtani, his interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, he was fired by the Dodgers. Apparently, there's been an investigation into an illegal gambling, I guess ring you want to call it, and he was betting on NFL, college football, according to the LA Times and ESPN, college football, NFL, other sports, but he is emphatic about not betting on baseball, and supposedly he took $4.5 million from Shohei Ohtani. And Shohei Ohtani is supposedly the victim in this case. A lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack. I'm utterly just shocked at this. I did not see this coming. This was out of left field because, Francisco, we talked about it. He was in the dugout with the Dodgers in their game today in South Korea.
Yeah, I don't like to laugh about this, but like I gotta pull it up. I have to. I mean, real quick, I gotta pull up the interpreter. We thought we were just gonna get on here and talk about the Soul series. Just talk about it.
Talk about Blake Snell. You were correct. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this.
No,
look at this.
no.
They're just hanging out. Look at that.
Yeah,
all the time. Like, yeah, we're just talking. Like what?
I know.
I know. I don't get it, man. I guess we'll try to talk our way through this because there's a lot of especially like we'll show the Dallas Braden tweet in a couple of minutes, but because I think we need to put this in the simplest terms for ourselves because we've been having trouble trying to really understand.
Because I'll be honest,
story.
I don't want to speculate. Like, I don't want to speculate on stuff. Like,
we're just going off what we read. With the ESPN article and the LA Times article. So I'll just start with I want to start with the Fox Sports report and how they tweeted it. Was so basically Dodgers fire interpreter Ippei Mizuhara after Ohtani's lawyers accused Mizuhara of massive theft, according to multiple reports. Like you said, he was involved with oh my god, what was his name? Browley? What was his name?
Yeah, a guy named last name Browley. Yeah.
Right. Let me pull it up real quick. There's just so much to unpack with this. Bowyer?
Matthew
Boyer, whatever. See, his name's already weird. No wonder he was involved in illegal things. But apparently, I guess Mizuhara was working with him starting in 2021. He met him like at a poker game in Las Vegas. And ever since then they'd kind of hit it off, and they were trying to, I guess, bet together or in some way or
he was the bookie.
Form.
This guy was the bookie. Was the bookie, and he's under federal investigation.
Yes.
I mean, this is Shohei's name came up because of Ippei's connection to him. Wow. Just wow. This is the biggest star in baseball.
And they're hanging out last night. That's my thing, is that they were hanging out last night at the game. Like,
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get this right. I'm trying to get this right because I want to make sure I don't get it wrong. But just from what I'm reading, is that initially it says that Mizuhara said Ohtani did know. He did, DID, did know about this. And then he like walks it back at like the end of the art, like more towards the end of the article, and says Ohtani didn't know. So I don't get it. And apparently ESPN, like you said, ESPN apparently did an interview with him last night.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna pull up the art. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the article. I'm pulling up the ESPN article right now because I'll read this paragraph. This is from ESPN. Okay. Their investigative reporter, Tisha Thompson. She's the one who was the main journalist for this article. Initially, okay, here we go. Initially, a spokesman for Ohtani told ESPN the slugger had transferred the funds to cover Mizuhara's gambling debt. The spokesman presented Mizuhara to ESPN for a 90-minute interview Tuesday night, during which Mizuhara laid out his account in great detail. However, as ESPN prepared to publish the story Wednesday, the spokesman disavowed Mizuhara's account and said Ohtani's lawyers would issue a statement. In the course of responding to recent media inquiries, we discovered that Shohei has been the victim of a massive theft, and we are turning the matter over to authorities. What the heck? This is straight from the ESPN article.
So,
I mean, your response to that, friend. I mean, what? What do you mean he did a whole 90-minute interview? That's not going to get released?
Yeah, that's the insane part. Like we need that. We're come on. Like we need that. It's just there's so many things. Yeah, was it a video recorded interview or was it like a written interview? And
I didn't specify, right? It just said an interview for a 90-minute interview. I don't know if it was So that's all we got. We don't know if it was recorded or was just audio, visual, what. But he sat down for an interview, gave an account, it was then disavowed. Boom. A new statement's put out by the spokespeople. It's just insane. There's so many things not adding up here, friend.
Yeah, I want to know because now, I mean, Ohtani's going to have to answer questions about this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to ask him.
He's going to have to answer questions.
Yeah, so like
the Dodgers can't keep him away from the media. They can't keep him away from the media.
Yeah, what was there? I want to Fabian Ardea, the athletic writer from for the Dodgers. I want to pull up what he tweeted out. I'll read it. Statement from the Dodgers. This was 34 minutes ago. The Dodgers are aware of media reports and are gathering info. The team can confirm that interpreter Ippei Mizuhara has been terminated. The team has no further comment at this time. So they are still learning about this to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Dodgers know about this before ESPN, or did ESPN know about this before the Dodgers?
No, the Dodgers had to have known. They've probably known.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah, that would be my intuition. No way.
So, which makes me think, like, why are they just hanging out on the bench last night? The club, the dugout.
Going on. Like, this is a big deal. Like, this is
a big deal. Like, there's no way. Like, you're telling me Ohtani just learned about this morning?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So he knew about this, and they're just shooting the breeze in the dugout. They're just
he's claiming. Yeah, Ippei was claiming that he paid off his gambling debt and was wiring money. Shohei was.
So he paid it off.
Name. Yeah.
Right, but apparently Ohtani didn't know about it.
This is where I'm not. Things aren't adding up. And I think we're going to get a lot more.
I'm not confusing you, right? The story is confusing you. I'm telling you what I read.
No, it's not you. Yeah, no, I'm telling you what I read. I mean, this is just where we're at. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this story. I think you're going to see more come out. The story will get straightened out more so. But essentially, the guy was a gambling addict. Couldn't handle it. Was gambling with someone he probably shouldn't have been. And he's implicated Ohtani into this. And it's just a bad look for Ohtani at this point. That, from what we know, essentially is what it's broken down to.
Yeah, can we? Are you able to pull up that Dallas Braden tweet?
Yeah.
Let's pull that up because this is kind of like the Cliff Notes version. Well, I don't know if Cliff Notes is the word here, but it'll try to at least help us a little bit. So, so
Yeah.
Dallas Braden tweets out. He tweets out the rough timeline. This was a little earlier. Ohtani rep goes on record with ESPN stating Ohtani transferred $4.5 million himself to bookmaker on behalf of Ipe. So that's on record with ESPN. Next, spokesperson for Ohtani delivers Ipe to ESPN for statement. Ipe says Ohtani never bet and felt bad for him and paid off his debt, so he'd never do it again. Next, spokesperson for Ohtani says Ipe is lying after giving that 90-minute statement to ESPN. Next, Ohtani's lawyers claim massive bet. Next, last, I guess, Ipe then says Ohtani had zero knowledge of his debt or his gambling habit in general. Either he lied at first and he walked it back.
Yeah.
Or maybe he realized, maybe I shouldn't say this about Shohei.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. So I want to read a couple of comments we're getting.
Yes.
Our guy Jovan Alfred, he checks in, makes a very good point. Yes. Gambling in California is a no-no. There's no legal
illegal.
Sports
right. We did not
there.
say that.
If you're doing it, it's illegal.
Right.
And offshore. Yeah. So it's illegal.
Right.
Evil Otto also checks in. Yes, Evil Otto checks in. Popcorn emoji. So he got his popcorn ready for this show.
Shout out to who's it? Evil Otto?
Yeah, Evil Otto.
Like the guy from Rocket Power.
Yeah.
Or you too young to watch Rocket Power. You too young to watch Rocket Power.
It's a little before me.
I know you don't. We don't want to talk about Nickelodeon right now because of the new documentary. So we want to stay away from that. I know. Yeah. I need to watch that. I'm gonna watch that. I know you don't want to watch that so bad, but I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm not saying in a great way, but just in terms of the story.
What a negative episode. Today.
I know. We you get more negative for you too. You're gonna have to tell me how much I was right about the Snell signing. All that.
It's true.
Yeah,
but
I know you already thanked me. I appreciate it.
I know. But getting back to Ohtani,
yes,
I think you're gonna hear more come out over the next few days and weeks. I don't think the full story's been published yet. To be honest, that's my takeaway.
And I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Not gonna lie. I hope. Look, I hope Ohtani's not involved in any way, shape, or form because man, that would be insane. And
it wouldn't be good for baseball.
For any of that money.
It wouldn't be good for baseball.
We're just hypotheticals here. We're not doing anything. We're not saying he did anything. We're just saying
he is considered the victim as of right now. That what stories come out, he's the victim in this case.
Yes,
and there's a lot more that's going to come out. So
yes, and apparently Mizuhara also. I just want to add this. Also said many times. He told ESPN on Tuesday his bets were placed on international soccer, NBA, NFL, and college football, but never on baseball. He said he never bet on baseball, which he was definitely not allowed to do because he's a Dodgers employee.
Yeah.
So, and
he was an Angels employee before. Right.
Exactly. Yep. More towards that, because he's been with the Angels for a while before the Dodgers. Just an insane story, man. I don't know. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, these guys, they look like the best of friends. They look like the best of friends last night, at the game. By the way, I was only able to catch the highlights. I don't know about you.
I got in, the game was over to work today. I was going to try and put it on, and then it was over by the time I got into work. So I caught the highlights afterwards too in the box score. It's hard to watch when a game starts at 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Yep. Hey, Australian Open, man. When it comes to tennis, that's you're up at 3 a.m. watching tennis matches.
Yeah, man. Not me. I'll catch the highlights.
I know.
Tennis.
But let us know your thoughts on this wild ass story on Twitter. Follow us. Here's Nick with his double dip with his Twitter name. This fraud.
I left. I told you I was leaving it here. I told you.
I knew you were. You thirsty little fraud. Oh my god.
Sensational, man.
Oh, sensational. That's not the word I'd use for you. No, you're my guy. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on social media about this story. It's definitely interesting. Definitely, I mean that's an understatement. It's incredibly intriguing. That's probably still an understatement. Meat and potatoes. What'd you have for dinner, Nick?
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at me.
I always laugh at you, but go ahead.
I had Domino's. I had a pan pizza tonight. It was fantastic.
I could kill some Domino's right now. I could kill that.
Dude, I had 7 slices, by the way.
Holy crap. Yeah, that's not what I can do right now. I'm trying to lose weight. I need to lose 10 pounds, so I can't do that.
I've gained a few pounds. I'm feeling good though.
Nah, you look good, man. You look good.
Thanks, man.
You been going to the gym?
No, but I've been like working out and playing basketball, being active, getting ready for our 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be active and
I do need to get back into the gym. I've
been going a little bit. I've been going to Planet Fitness.
Look at you. No, good for you. Are you eating? What are you eating right now? Are you having
mangoes? Yeah, I was trying to go with
meat and potatoes.
Nah, mangoes. I've had some mangoes laying out for a little bit, so I didn't know
we could bring snacks on the show.
Well, it was not like that. It's not like I purposely brought it. It's sitting here on my desk. I needed to finish. I couldn't finish them earlier because they were frozen. Like I usually what I do with frozen mangoes is I get them out, I let them sit for a little while, and then I eat them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna heat them up. Yeah. I'm not gonna heat up mangoes. It's a little weird. So
you do,
yeah.
You I know. You. We know you've had mangoes.
Yeah, you sitting over here sitting eating a whole large pizza. I'm over here eating mangoes. What are you doing? Fraud.
Enjoying my Domino's. I mean, I love Domino's. I will eat Domino's any day of the week.
Yeah, get healthy. Health is wealth.
I know, but like I'm allowed to eat my Domino's. I know. It's fantastic. I love pizza, man. Pizza is just.
I do. I'm jealous. Like I'm jealous, but I'm not jealous. You know what I'm saying? I'm jealous, but I'm not jealous.
You're a little jealous. You're a little jealous.
I never said
I can tell.
I never said I wasn't jealous. I'm jealous because I wish I could be trying to eat that stuff right now.
Finish your mangoes and let's get. What's the next topic? What do we got? What are we talking about?
Mangoes first. You want to get? How about you tell the people the first topic of the meat and potatoes while I eat my mangoes?
Oh yeah. Taking a break on the air, of course.
I'm not taking a break.
Typical.
Just talk.
You got a mouthful of mangoes. Of course, I gotta talk.
Just talk.
This is an all timer right here.
What's the next topic? You tell us.
This is all timer.
Did you forget the topic?
So we gotta go South Korea. The MLB, the Seoul series. All right. I can't. I tried holding it in last time.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you're done. You're done. So we stay in South Korea where we had a wild story with the interpreter of Shohei Ohtani, along with Ohtani himself, who might have done something. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Kidding, but I'm not kidding. The Seoul series opener happened this morning. Like you said, it was 4 a.m., right?
It's early.
It was really early.
The game was halfway done by the time I left my house for work.
But can we just start by do you like having the first game of the season going on while there's spring training games still happening?
I'll be honest, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's whack as hell. It's terrible.
I think it's a bad idea. Listen, I get to trying to go to the Grand game over there. Awesome. Why not have a spring training game over there or something? I'm like spring training is still going on here. How are we starting the season already? It just I don't understand it. That's why I saw this topic. I was like, I gotta chill a little bit because I want to watch the game, man. Who's gonna be watching it over here? People got to wake up. And even for West Coast fans, it's even earlier for them. So I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Start the season at a normal time. Everyone else is starting to have a big to do. But everyone kind of forgot this. It kind of went over my head. Oh yeah, that was today. The first game's today. You know what I mean?
It kind of. I'll be honest with you, man.
Fan,
you texted me and I was like, oh crap, I forgot. I was like, I thought it was still spring training. Yeah, I'll be real.
No, this counts. And I just think the way they schedule things out Major League Baseball does. They just don't do a good job. And March Madness is starting, and you're having regular season games with spring training still going on, like all the hoops. Like, it's just they haven't done a very good job, to say the least. In their
yeah,
season.
it's no, and
that's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's a double whammy because, like, number one, what we just hit on there is like it just doesn't make sense to have the opening day happening. Technically, it was opening day. Technically, that was inaugural opening day happening while there's still a week of spring training left. Literally, like the Phillies start March 28th. Okay, like March 28th. That's when they're a little over a week technically still, and it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, like I'm glad they're trying to grow the game and go out to Seoul because out there in Asia, it's a big deal. I like that. Yeah. It just doesn't. And look, I'm also. We'll get to the game in a second. But I just want to keep talking about it being in another country. Like, I like having it in another country too. I also like it that it's the first time in 5 years. Like, don't do this every year. The last time they did this was the A's and the Mariners, I believe, in 2019, which was in Tokyo. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool once in a while. Can't be every year, every once in a while, but it just cannot be played while there's spring training games still going on. I don't understand why MLB and Rob Manfred thinks that it makes sense to do that, because it absolutely does not. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't at all. And the fact, listen, I think it's great going overseas to play games. Like, NFL's doing it, NBA we've seen do it. Like, it's great. And I think that's great. That's the idea. But we've talked about Major League Baseball over and over and over again. They do not, like, they can't finish the job. They have this good idea, but they can never execute it to the best that it can be. And this is another example of that. Like, yes, I think it's awesome. Let's have a game in South Korea, growing the game there. You know, they had Chan-Ho Park throwing out the first pitch today. Legend, pitched in the early 2000s, late 90s for the Dodgers and Padres. Awesome. Great stuff. You cannot open the season at 3 a.m. in America. You can't do that. I just don't understand what is going through their heads. Let's start the game at 3 a.m. in America while people are sound asleep and aren't going to watch the game. They'll have to catch the highlights afterwards or watch a replay. And also, they're going to be at work in the morning. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
sorry. It got me fired up.
Yeah, no, like, I think it would make more sense to do it like the week after the season starts or something. Like, have it be like when's opening day? So March 28th. That's a Thursday. Like, have it be like the Monday after the first series of the year. Like, you know what I mean? Fine. Like, and I'll tell you the things I did like about it. I like that they picked the Dodgers and Padres, like, rivalry. I think it's great. They still play each other, a good amount of times a year. I think it's good. And I also think it's good the two teams they picked, because I mean, you're not short of superstars everywhere from both sides, from Bogarts to Mookie to Ohtani, especially having Ohtani face Yu Darvish for the first time. And ironically, it comes in Asia. So I thought that was great. You have Machado, Tatis, Freeman. Like, there's no shortage of stars. That was great. The execution's got to be a little better. I mean, how many people are really talking about this opener? Not a lot, man. Like, baseball fans might be, but like, besides the nerds, like, people don't care, man. Like, let's be real. Like, more people are talking about NFL free agency right now. People are still talking about Anthony Edwards' dunk the other night. Like, that's what people are talking about. Like, they're not talking. And I mean, okay, so the one highlight people are talking about from the game is Jake Cronenworth's glove. That's the one thing that people are taking away from it. I mean, if you don't have, so, and then you had Mad Dog on ESPN today saying that, Jake Cronenworth should have made the play. Yeah. You saw that, right? You saw it? Yeah.
It was
ridiculous. So, yeah, dude, I mean, at the end of the day, Nick, the positives were that you get the star-studded matchup. And I do like that they did it in Seoul. I like that they did it there. I just think the timing was right. As far as the game went, the game was good. Tyler Glasnow, a couple of runs in 5 innings. Yu Darvish only lasted 3 2/3. I don't. Why did it only last 3 2/3? I didn't even see that. Was he injured?
Yeah,
I just decided to take him out.
Yeah,
because he didn't give up any runs.
Didn't get to watch the game. Didn't get to watch the game. By the way.
I watched the highlights. That was it. So I get the.
We have Jovan checking. He said his friend lives in California. He said it's too early for him to watch. Game started at 3 a.m. Pacific time out there.
That's horrible.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, probably was he a Dodgers fan? Padres probably deserves it then. Just kidding. Hey, listen.
Would you get up for the Phillies?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I'd get up for the Phillies.
Yeah, I would get up.
I'd get up for the Phillies. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I just they got to go back and like now like spring training's still going on. Just not a good idea. I did see this one tweet today. You bring up the Cronenworth thing with the glove. Someone said Fanatics must have made that glove too.
Yo, I don't mind the. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go back on that.
They must have made I thought that was. I started cracking up hysterically.
Yeah.
He was a Phillies fan, but he loves baseball. So
any positives that you took away from this whole series here, Nick?
I don't know. I mean, just on the field, there were some good things. Like Ohtani had a great day. 5-2. But it's just everything surrounding it has been negative. I mean, we got the interpreter getting fired on a road trip. What are they gonna leave him there? Like, are they gonna leave him there? They send him on a flight home. I don't know what happens now. Who knows? That's going on. We got like the time it's starting. No one really can watch it. The game, 5-2, Dodgers win. Shohei did his thing. What did he have? He had an RBI in this game, a couple of hits. And then the Cronenworth thing, that error, I mean, it was the go-ahead run that scored that led the Dodgers to winning. So, I mean, gloves are falling apart. The top player in baseball, his interpreter's getting fired for gambling. I mean, the game starts at 3 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what to take away that was positive, Francisco. Other than some of the stat lines. I don't know what to take away.
Yuki Matsui, we saw first bit of him for the Padres.
Yeah.
Had a strikeout and a walk. I saw a couple of highlights from his 2/3 of an outing. We had Johnny Brito, former Yankee, right? That's who they got in the Soto trade.
Yeah.
Saw him for a third of an inning, would give up 2 runs. So not a lot to take away. Just opening game. It's not
game.
Yeah.
That no one saw.
Yeah, exactly. Only the people in Seoul saw.
Yeah. The fans that were there, the fans watching on TV there. I mean, they got to see it. It was probably blacked out over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on their rules.
Our baseball souls follows in Seoul.
Oh, look what you did there.
Bars.
I just hope they schedule it better because I want to see the whole thing, like the whole aura of like going there, seeing all the fans and like the different culture. Like I want to see all that, and I can't watch it when it's 6 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever. Unreal.
I agree. All right, well, tell me I'm right. Just go ahead. Tell me I'm right. Blake Snell signed with the Giants. Go ahead. You have the floor.
You probably changed your mind. Like, what did you pick? Did you pick the Giants? Were you consistent with that all off season? I feel like we changed a few times. I mean, it was so long.
I mean, I started with the Giants and I ended with the Giants. It's all that matters.
See, I want to go back and find the clip. I probably picked the Giants.
Actually, what's funny? I know because we both agreed on this. We both definitely said that Snell was going to re-sign with the Padres. We 100% both said that. I know we did. I have to go back and find it, but I remember you saying like, "Oh yeah, Fred, I actually 100% agree with you." I think it was one of us said we 100% agree with each other, and we both said.
See, it's been so long. It's been so long since the beginning of the offseason when it started. We were almost at opening day. I can't remember. If there is someone out there that is watching us right now and remembers some of our 18 picks that we've had for Snell over the offseason, let us know. I can't remember.
Real talk.
I picked the Yankees last on our last show.
Yeah,
right before literally the day before he signed.
And you're wrong. You were wrong. Yep.
Yeah, but hey, they were hanging around apparently.
I don't care what they were doing. They lost.
They didn't want to go over 30.
I won.
They didn't want to go over 30. But you were right. You got it right, kind of. I guess after 18 tries, you got it right.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, bud. So what do you think? What do you think about the Giants now? They have Blake Snell. I'm actually intrigued because I think once they get Robbie Ray back, I think that they have a pretty good rotation.
Yeah,
Kyle Harrison's a little bit of a wild card there, but what do you like the Giants as a playoff team now? What does this Cy Young winner, 2-time Cy Young winner, do for the Giants? Where do you like them now?
Yeah, listen, you got the 1 and 2 from the Cy Young last year, and Snell and Webb. I like it. So another thing, he's not going to be ready to pitch, and we talked about this by opening day. He's got to get ramped up, according to Alex Pavlik. He's at about a 60 pitch range right now, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to get ready.
60. What is this? The Bush League? What is this little league? What are we doing, bro?
Yeah. So
they haven't been ramping up.
But no, I think this definitely helps the Giants. I mean, I like the rotation, especially when they get Ray back. I think Kyle Harrison, lefty man, one of the top lefty prospects in baseball. I'm excited to see him, man. If he pans out, woo, the Giants got a squad.
Yeah,
they got Jordan Hicks as well. He's another arm. Mason Black. I think they got some guys. They have some depth there in their rotation. Offensively, I'm still a little all right. Let's wait and see. But yeah, they're going to be a contender. They're in a tough division with the Dodgers. They'll be a contender for a wild card, I think, no doubt.
Yeah, but make sure you specify when you say contender.
You said playoffs. That's why
what are you talking about? I know.
I will specify wild card contender. Yes, they will be in it for the wild card for sure. I don't think there's a question about that.
Yeah, I actually don't. I'm not gonna sit here and be like outright, the Giants are a playoff team. Like, I just think. So I look at it this way, right? One team from the NL East is getting a wild card. That's either going to be the Phillies or that's going to be the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially, I still think the Mets are kind of flying under the radar, depending what they can do with that rotation now. That's some question marks. But the Mets could potentially, who knows? One team from the NL Central is getting the wild card. I think it's either going to be the Cubs or it's going to be the Reds. I actually think one of those teams is going to get it. Yeah, I do.
Did you say the Reds?
I did. I
noted.
Yes. And maybe I'm overexerting myself here with the Reds, but I think the Reds could get it. And I like the D-backs a little more. I like the Giants. I still like the D-backs a little more right now. The addition of Eduardo Rodriguez into their rotation. Still like their offense a little bit more. Do I with the D-backs? And I like their bullpen a little more too. Back there with Paul Sewald and Kevin Ginkel, which has one of the wackest names in sports. Ginkel. Yeah, Van Ginkel in the NFL, and you got Ginkel. Gink man who just blew past the Phillies don't love it, but I just like the Diamondbacks a little more as well. Yeah, it's funny though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Do I like the Giants more than I like the Reds? I think it might come down to those two teams for that last wild card spot, Giants and the Reds.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I expect you to pick the Diamondbacks. You are a Diamondbacks fan. That's been proven and noted.
Right. Let me go get the jersey. Let me go get it.
No. Oh no! Look what I've opened up. Of course he's gonna put it on. He's ridiculous. Anyway, I do think the Giants overall. I think they can. He brings it on. Can I get into my Giants point? You're too busy over here with your.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm putting my headphones on right now. There we go. Headphones are on.
In the middle of trying to get my Giants point, you're over here just on.
I told you I was going to get it. You want it. Here you go.
This is. Can I take a picture of this and post it live on the show?
If you want. Do you really want to?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'm going to post it.
I'm not going to put my face in it, though.
Okay. I have that for record. Just for record.
Yeah. Okay. I don't shy away from these things. I win the day. Who said it? I win the day.
I don't know.
Who said it?
I don't know. I'm just sickened of it at you right now. Listen, the Giants, yes, they're going to compete for a wild card spot. I think it's pretty obvious. Oh gosh. But No, I think in the division with the Diamondbacks, you have the Dodgers out there. I think both those teams can make it. Like, I think 2 NL West teams could make it as the wild card. Like, Dodgers win the division, San Francisco, Diamondbacks. You can flip flop them. Doesn't matter. The Padres, they'll be in the mix. Yeah. They don't scare me that much, but I think they'll be in the mix. I still think it's a very, very, very good division. I think San Francisco and Arizona can get in as long as an NL East team. I think 2 NL West teams and 1 NL East team get in with those 3 wildcard spots. That's how I would look at it. I think the Central's a little weak. I think the Reds, they'll be in the mix. I don't think they get in. I still think they need time to develop. I still think they're a very young team. So I'm waiting to see on the Reds to see how their season progresses, see how Ellie progresses. I expect big things from Ellie. You know, I always expect big things.
I don't know,
from
bro.
Ellie.
O'Neill might be the better Cruz this year, bro. Have you seen what he's been
O'Neill
doing?
O'Neill looks dominant. He's been hitting moonshots. I mean, hitting the baseball like crazy for the Pirates. Yeah, but the Pirates stink. So it, you know, unfortunately, while O'Neill Cruz might be fantastic this year, the Pirates are going absolutely nowhere. And I think that's a weak division in the Central right now. I think it's kind of wide open. I think just the division winner gets in.
Okay. All right. So there we go.
All right.
All right. So the last, I don't know, is he technically the last Scott Boras client here? JD Martinez?
Jordan Montgomery.
Oh, I'm sorry. God,
Jordan Montgomery. Come on, Fred.
Yes, I know.
Future Philly.
Future Philly? You think so? You really think so? I don't know. Taiwan Walker didn't look good tonight.
No, he did not.
Yeah, you might have to move Taiwan Walker. Put some if they had a salary cap, push his dead cap out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice. I think the Phillies could make a play at him. I just the Yankees need a pitcher, man. I could see it. Garrett Cole going down. I just can't see the Yankees letting one of those 2 walk and not try and sign him. You know?
Yeah, especially with the Cole situation, you have to. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know.
Just goes back to Texas. You know, who knows?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's either going back to Texas or he's going to New York. But JD Martinez, though. Because we haven't, you know what, though? It's good that we're talking about him tonight because we haven't really had an opportunity to talk about him because he still had played, high level hitter last year still. 30 plus homers, 100 plus ribbies, I think. Where do you like JD Martinez? I mean, the reports are they could the Mets are still all in on him. Should the Mets be all in on him? If not, where do you expect them to sign?
Yeah, I could see the Mets, and it sounds like the Mets are going to be the favorite to sign him. And at this point, I mean, whoever's being reported is the most interested, I think might be the team to sign him. And listen, the Mets offensively, with the DH spot, kind of were all over the place last year. This would give them a steady guy in the middle of their order, steady guy at the designated hitter spot. It would make sense if he went to the Mets. And apparently he's intrigued of the idea of playing with the New York Mets. I don't know who would be intrigued with playing the New York Mets, but that's just me. Last season, with the Dodgers, he got basically replaced by Shohei Ohtani, $700 million contract. 271 batting average last year, 33 home runs, 103 RBIs, 36 years old. He's a full-time DH. It would make sense for him to go to the Mets, and the Mets need a DH. They need someone consistently in that spot. Give them something in the heart of the order. And, he's got plenty of money up there as Steve Cohen. So I could see the Mets definitely being a landing spot. They've been the ones reported. I see the Mets being the final landing spot for JD.
I'm actually putting the Mets number 2 right now. I like the Cubs number 1. I was reading an article earlier that kind of made sense. Look, the Cubs, they were in on Ohtani at the start of free agency. They were ready to spend that money. They didn't. They did not. They ended up giving Bellinger this money. I'm trying to think of who else they've gotten this offseason. I'm pulling up their roster right now. I thought they got a pitcher. Well, is it Manga, right? Imanaga. Yeah. They got Imanaga. Yep. I'm trying to think of any of their other offseason additions here, but they do have some fire there in the back of their bullpen. Nearest as well. Nearest was the one.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I really do think JD Martinez kind of makes sense for the for the Cubs because of the whole them being in on Ohtani, but not obviously not spending the money because it goes to the Dodgers. I think it would make sense for the Cubs now because look, I like their rotation with Steele, Imanaga, Hendricks, Wicks, and Javier Assad, and I think they have a solid bullpen as well. So I think if for the Cubs, they want to try to win a wide open division right now, right? And why not slam that door shut by getting a JD Martinez? Michael Busch, I don't know how much they like him yet. It's like a top prospect for the Cubs. He's supposed to be their DH according to Fangraphs, but why not get JD Martinez in the middle of that lineup? I mean, Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger, Morel, Swanson. Then JD Martinez is perfect right there in that middle of that lineup. Maybe move Morel down. I would like it. I think JD Martinez makes sense to the Cubs. I also think he makes sense to the Mets, but I think number one, I think I would take the Cubs right now, but maybe I'll be wrong because it sounds like the Mets are pretty in on Martinez. So
yeah, I mean, but listen, the Astros we thought were pretty in on Snell, and he ended up going back to San Francisco.
Right.
So
Reports change.
Yeah, so things happen, new information gets released, but I think the Mets make the most sense. They need someone stability in that middle of that order. They're kind of mixing and matching last year with the DH position. So I think JD makes sense there. Steve Cohen will be willing to dish out the money, but the Cubs could also be in because I remember they were kind of linked to Rhys Hoskins for a while too, like throughout the offseason, right? Even before the offseason started. Right. So I could see them going out and getting a bat right before the season begins. And JD Martinez, listen, he's been an all-star 3 straight seasons. I know he's 36 years old. All-star last year as well at the Dodgers. I think he's still got some years in him. Maybe take a 1-year flyer. I mean, Blake Snell just took 2 years. So maybe put JD on a 1-year deal or something like that at this point.
Yep. All right, let's close it out. We have kind of another fun story to talk about. We've had, I was already excited to do this show because of this story, but then we did the Ohtani story, so I decided to save this for the end. How about this Jazz Chisholm interview?
Yo,
he did the pivot with Ryan Clark, and I don't know who else is on that pod. Do you know who else is on that podcast? It's Ryan Clark.
I forget who else.
The pivot. Just wanted to get that right.
Yeah, the pivot. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So so we're a professional podcast here. We don't like to play any cursing. So we're not gonna, and I didn't have any time to cut it up and do the boop, you know what I'm saying? The sensory. So you like that sound effect?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So Jazz Chisholm was on this podcast with Ryan Clark. It's called The Pivot. And he's basically talking about his experience within the last couple of years, I guess, when about leadership in the Marlins clubhouse and about from the older veterans. It basically ripped through them. I didn't watch this entire interview. I've only seen the clip that everyone else has pretty much seen on Twitter. And Jazz pretty much says, he gives an example of everyone is speculating that it was Jesus Sanchez, in one of his first at bats, hitting a homer, and then I guess doing the Soto shuffle. After.
Yep.
And basically goes back to the dugout, and people are saying it was Miguel Rojas.
Yeah.
Chisholm didn't say this in the podcast, but people are speculating that it was Miguel Rojas and maybe some other vets on the Marlins.
Yeah.
Giving it to Jesus. Say, what are you doing, bro? Why are you trying to do that? You got to see the vet, blah, blah, blah. And Jazz is basically saying, oh, we had all this leadership from guys that sucked. I'm paraphrasing. He basically said that, though. He really did. He basically said, you guys aren't even that good. Why? He's basically saying that the clubhouse, a very toxic culture there in Miami. I don't know. What are we thinking, Nick? Did Jazz, or are you with Jazz here? Do you think this is this isn't something Jazz should talk about on a podcast? You think it's kind of maybe coming from a guy who he's still, let's be honest though, I like Jazz, I like his personality a lot. Still trying to establish himself a little bit, maybe despite some injuries here. I don't know, Nick. I'll let you go first here. What was your reaction here to Jazz's comments?
So yeah, it was Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor. That's their podcast.
Oh, Fred Taylor. Okay.
Yep. So they're on this podcast. They have a lot of athletes on. They get Jazz on. You sent me this video, this clip, him kind of calling out veterans and the younger player, right? I mean, this is essentially a discussion of the, I guess, different styles that younger players have to some of the veterans, right?
Right.
I'm kind of with him to an extent, but I don't know if he should be going out and calling out teammates like this. That's where I'm at. Like, I understand, like, let the kid have fun if he just got called up. Like, I can understand that perspective from it. Like, let the kid have fun. I know he just got to the show, but man, he just hit a home run. He's starting, right? Like, I mean, I'm agreeing with him in that sense. But should he be calling out player? I know he didn't say any names, but it was pretty obvious who he was referring to in Rojas, right? I mean, pretty obvious, right? So I don't know if I love that, because you don't want to put like throw your teammates under the bus in the public eye, like that
former
create
teammate.
a riff in the locker room. Well, former teammate, yeah, that's right. But still, I don't like, even if he's a former teammate, it doesn't matter. Like at this point, like you can't go out there and still rip a guy, even though you played with him before. Like he's still in the league. You're still going to see this guy forever. I don't know. I don't think that's the way to go about it.
I agree with you. I look, I think there are a lot of fans who liked it. Of course they are. Like they're gonna like when players speak out and stuff like that for the drama as well. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the content and drama. Like I appreciate it. I just think it comes back to like, look, Jazz, you're not like a super established, like star in the game or anything like that. I'm not saying that he's not like, because I'm all for, despite what you say, fun in the game. I like the way Jazz plays. I like the way, he pimps some of his homers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Good.
But I agree with you. I don't love that he decided to go on this podcast and kind of, lay it out the way that he did. Now, maybe I need to go back and watch the full podcast episode, because I only saw a minute 30-second clip, just like everybody else. I don't know, man. Like I like it, but I don't like it. I thought it was entertaining, but I'll say this: if it were me, it would never be me, because I could never be a Major League Baseball player. But if it were me, I wouldn't go about it that way. I just, and especially it's probably going at guys that are former teammates, so he knows that there's going to be no brushback from here. It's not like he's talking about current teammates. I mean, that would be a serious issue.
Yeah.
Well, especially with the start of the season coming up.
Yeah, but he just played. It was last year. I mean, the guy just played with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
that's where I'm at. Like,
so he must be. He probably. I'm not just not a shot at Jazz, but it kind of is a little bit. Like I think he decided it was convenient for him to make these comments about these players, because he doesn't play with those vets anymore. Like, let's be real.
Yes, I
guess, and I hate this. I hate to say it like that. I'm not coming at Jazz's character, but I'm just calling it for what it is. It's convenient to say that about former players, because you don't play with them anymore.
I guess.
And maybe you'll have to play with them in the future. You never know.
Yep.
Especially because he's a young player. But I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit convenient for Jazz to say that with those teammates potentially not on that team anymore. Like
it's out in the world now, though. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna see it. It's not just in-house. You're not just talking to your guy. Like, it's everywhere. Like, everyone's gonna see it. So that's my thing. Like, you're putting this out to the public eye now. What does that show about you? I just don't love how he's putting it out in the public eye. I get his argument. He could have phrased the argument a little bit better instead of calling someone out, like on his own team that he played with. He could have phrased it in a way that was like, hey, the young generation, we want to have fun. Sometimes, like, the veterans will, don't see eye to eye. So he could have put it in a different way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just could have put it in a different sense than essentially calling one individual out in one instance.
Yeah.
He could have made it more general.
Yeah, I guess it. Yeah, there's some. I guess that maybe now he feels like the clubhouse is less toxic. He probably feels that way now.
Yeah.
And a little bit of heart, a little bit of he just felt a certain way about it, which I understand. I just felt like he could have gone about it a little better. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I think he could have phrased it in such a different way that wasn't necessarily calling like one person out that everyone knows who you're talking about.
And he's messing with the namesake, man, Rojas.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
Yeah, look at that. Calling out the Rojas's.
Well, you guys do need to be called out. You specifically.
Me? Why me?
You just need to be called out. I tweeted out why. I just tweeted out why. But
you just tweeted out why?
Yeah.
Oh, did you tweet the RJ? Good. I love this bit though. I love this bit because you're just keeping the controversy going. I love it. I look like the headless horseman. Oh, that's great.
Unbelievable.
So next time on the shift, I think it goes without saying we'll probably do our season preview, even though technically the season started.
Yeah, but did it?
I know.
Did it?
MLB, you messed up.
Yeah. No, we'll do our next week before opening day. Little preview, the action on opening day, the season, some predictions. It'll be fun. Because
I'm excited.
It'll, it's just you can't start a season at 5 a.m, man. It just can't happen.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning,
dude. I texted you, I was at the diner. I go to the diner on Wednesdays before work. Okay.
Yes.
At the diner, I'm like, I forgot the game's on. I'm checking the score. Like, maybe when I get in, I'll be able to watch some of it. By the time I got in, I had to do my due diligence, whatever. Boom, the game's over. I'm like, well, that's great. I didn't even get to see an inning. Couldn't even catch it, man.
I mean, I just also I'm reading Twitter here. Bob Nightingale tweeting out everything that everyone already. Fabian Ardea tweeted this already. Dodgers are aware of media reports and gathering information. The team can confirm that. We know this. Why does he do this? He's just being a reporter.
Listen, gathering the info, man. It's going to be a big story, man. We're gonna follow this. We're gonna follow this on the shift.
Yes, we are.
Throughout the next couple of episodes, as news develops, we'll talk about it. And you might see a TikTok from me or something. Because Francisco wants to go dilly dally at the Sixers game, and
we have to stop going to games with each other because they win.
I know. Yeah, but we went to one where they won, right? No, did they lose both?
We did go to one where they won, but I'm saying though, like we're 2-0 since we decided to go separate ways. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
And sometimes that's how it goes.
When I went to New York.
Yeah, so you should just go to away games, and I'll go to home games.
All right. Okay, so for the playoffs, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. Playing game. Yeah.
Well, you gotta also remember, Tobias didn't play.
I know.
So
I know. Hey.
Sorry, Jovan, if you're still listening.
Oh. All right. Anyway. Okay. Well, episode 48 of the shift. It has been a good one. This news is wild, man. Keep on it. Hey, Jazz Chisholm, keep saying wild stuff, man. I want that too. I want the content. Say something about your current teammate next time. I want to see. Yeah. Say something about Sandy Alcantara's elbow because it is not healed yet. Say something about it. Oh man, these old ass vets can't even get back on time. Come on, man. Say something. I need it. I need it. Yeah, we need it. We need to get some guests on here that are gonna say something too. We need some juicy content. We can't be the only one saying stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next thing you know, I'll have Jazz tweeting me saying, don't ever come my character again." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm calling for what it is, man. So. It was convenient to say it about your former teammates. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, very convenient. Yeah. All right.
Take us out. You take us
out.
All
right. Well, also, the man drops on Friday. The GOAT, Future Hendricks. Can't wait for that. Be excited. I'll be posting about it. Don't worry. Everyone, have a great day. What an episode of the shift. Have a good one, everybody.